Here we'll solve some simple linear equations using some basic properties of real numbers. So if we have an equation a equals b, we can add the exact same number on both sides and we get an equivalent equation. So if a equals b, then a plus c equals b plus c. As long as we are adding the exact same number on both sides, we have an equation that works and it's equivalent to a equals b. Now the second rule is the rule of subtraction. If a equals b and we subtract the exact same number from both sides, then we get an equivalent form, which is a minus c equals b minus c. So if a equals b, then a minus c equals b minus c. So we're going to solve some simple linear equations here. Let's start with the simplest. X minus 3 equals 2. So solving for x, so this is a linear equation. It's in the form x to the 1 minus 3 equals 2. Solving for x is the same as isolating x or getting x by itself on one side. So if we could somehow get rid of the 3 on this side, on the left side, then we would get x by itself on the left side. So if we add a 3, since we have x minus 3, by adding a 3 on both sides, let's see what happens. So we have x plus 3 and minus 3 get cancelled because negative 3 plus 3 equals 0. So negative 3 is the additive inverse of positive 3. So if we add the 2, we get 0. So we get x plus 0 equals 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5. So what we did was we added the exact same number, positive 3. So we added 3 on both sides to get an equivalent form, x plus 0 equals 5, which is the same as x plus 0 is x. So x equals 5. So what we've done is we've solved the equation, which means we've isolated x on one side. And this equation says that the value of x is equal to 5. Now we can check our answer. So let's just start with the original equation. Now we need to check if we got the answer right. Since this is what our work says. The answer is x equals 5. We plug in x equals 5, which means we substitute x equals 5 and then keep everything else exactly the same on both sides of the equation. And on the left, we have 5 minus 3 is 2. On the right, we have 2. So as long as we get something like this, the equation works, and therefore x equals 5 is a solution to the equation x minus 3 equals 2. So x equals 5 is a solution. Let's look at another equation here. It says solve for u. So solving for u. So here u is the variable or the unknown, and the exponent on u is equal to 1. So it's a linear equation. So solving for u is the same as isolating u on one side, which is getting all the u's to one side. So notice that we have a u here and we need to get rid of 2u on the right hand side. So we can move it to the left. The only way we can get rid of 2u is by subtracting 2u on both sides of the equation. It has to be on both sides. Whatever you do on the right, the exact same thing is done on the left. So when we do that, we have 3u minus 2u plus 2. 2u minus 2u is equal to 0. So on the right side, we have 2u minus 2u, which is equal to 0, plus, and then there's the 5. So notice that we subtracted 2u on both sides. So 3u minus 2u, that's exactly what we have here, 3u minus 2u. The 2 remains on the left side, so it's plus 2, equals 2u minus 2u is 0. and the 5 remains on the right hand side. So 3u minus 2u, as long as they are like terms, which means these two match, then 3u minus 2u is 3 minus 2, which is 1u. So 3u minus 2u equals 1u, which is the same as u. Plus 2, so the 2 remains, equals 5. So u plus 2 equals 5. We need to remember, solve for u, so we need to isolate u on the left side of this equation, which means we need to get rid of the positive 2. The only way we can get rid of the 2 is by, since it's added on to u, we need to subtract it out of u. So we have u plus 2, subtract 2 from the left, and whatever we do on the left, we need to do the exact same thing on the right. So if we subtract 2 on the left, we subtract 2 on the right. So u plus 2 minus 2 is 0, equals 5 minus 2, which is equal to 3. U plus 0 is u, so u equals 3. We can plug it back into the original equation. 3u plus 2 equals 2u plus 5. Plug u back into the equation. So 3 times 3, so this 3 times the value of u, which is 3, plus 2 equals 2 times the value of u, which is 3, plus 5. So 3 3s are 9, plus 2 equals 6, plus 5. 9 plus 2 is 11, 6 plus 5 is 11. So therefore, u equals 3 is the correct answer. It's the solution to the equation, or the value of u.